Hi, I'm Jeremy. Oh, that man, come on! Why do you keep doing that? And of course, welcome back to The Extraordinary Times and our first story of today. We, of course, have to talk about President Obama and, the Aurora thing, because they are apparently news together because he is making them news together. He went and saw all the people before Christian Bale did, and that was, fine and good of him. But now he's trying to use the Aurora shooting as an excuse to try and pass tougher, background check laws on gun buyers and all these things. Because, that one guy that went and shot all those people in Aurora, he was a perfectly sane individual and had no history of violence at all. And so, that kind of stuff wouldn't... Wait. Oh, right. So, Mr. President, if you could please, focus on important things like telling White House spokesman Jim Carney, who is, your mouthpiece to the media, that Jerusalem is actually the capital of Israel. It would be fantastic because, some of us actually didn't know it, but we're not employed to know it.
And on to the next story. We're still a little political, but that's kind of what we are nowadays.
Well, also, Olympics. Yay!
Right. And combining our favorite story topics. Mitt Romney has made it to London and has given a few speeches recently over there, for all the Olympics. For those of you who have forgotten a few times, Romney did take control of the Salt Lake Olympics and make it profitable and better. And
awesome!
So he came up with a little phrase along the lines that the security and preparations for the London Olympics were getting a little disconcerting. And that's all he really said. All the different reports and all the different things he had heard made him a little uneasy, and that was it. He didn't really have anything to say about the actual preparations themselves, just the rumors. And London exploded.
Well, yeah, because it's some Yankee toff coming over and saying stuff about their fair city.
So they got all snippy, and the prime minister's like, well, yeah, but we're a much busier city and than anything that he's ever done, and we're not in the middle of nowhere like the Salt Lake. I'm paraphrasing here. Either way, they're set to meet at Downing Street to talk over this little stance of Mitt Romney's. Personally, I kind of agree with him on the fact that all these reports are getting disconcerting.
Everything coming out of there is a little bit disconcerting, like stuff about Syrian hit squads and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty scary stuff.
Just saying.
And, by the way, just in case you don't know, they did a study on, ecstasy, the drug that you take in clubs that makes everything awesome, apparently. I've never done it, but it makes everything awesome according to those who do it. But the study revealed that it actually just murders your memory, which... in case none of you went to, that drug class in high school, ecstasy murders your brain. End of story.
All right, got a little update on Ron Paul. We talked a little bit, we've talked a few times about the Audit the Fed bill that he's been trying to push forward.
His really landmark good idea. He's had a few, but this is the big one.
This is the one I completely agree with 100%, and evidently so does over 2/3 of the House of Representatives. They've passed it. Now, it probably won't pass the Democrat-controlled Senate. But
because the Senate takes wonderful ideas and crumples them up and eats them with cheese.
Currently, anyway. We'll see what happens after November when it's probably going to become Republican-controlled.
Don't stop believing.
Either way, this is a good sign overall because even if it doesn't pass now, a form of it will pass later if the Republicans do get control of the Senate. And who knows? The Senate might just smarten up this time around and actually pass it.
Well, that's the same Senate that passed health care. For those of you who don't know, back in 2010, the American CIA, NSA, FBI, all of the acronyms got together, and they busted a Russian spy ring. For those of you who also don't know, the Cold War did not end espionage between, the Russians and the United States. It just stopped us from wanting to shoot nukes at each other. Mostly. So now we're getting more information out of all of the information that was collected from busting that spy ring, and apparently they were talking about recruiting children to do their spy work, like legit kids. That is unconscionable to me. Like, you know, leave adult business to adult people. You know, if you want to go and kill your neighbor, do it as an adult. Don't send a kid to do it like they do in like Somalia and Darfur and all those places that are just horrible. By the way, in case you also don't know, the world is still horrible out there. So, you know, be active and all that stuff. Moving on. Back to Texas, where we are fighting for something awesome again.
With our last story of the day. Between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Texas, there's a space battle going on. Not really like the space battle we had running between the United States and Russia, but kind of similar. For a while there with the Space Shuttle program, we pretty much used the Cape Canaveral in Florida to launch shuttles, and where was the other place? The backup place, I always forget the name.
Vandenberg,
something like
California. Had to do it on the coast so that, you know, they could shoot them.
Right.
Anyways, moving on. Very technical things.
Well, with SpaceX coming up and Boeing and a bunch of other companies trying to build their own dragons or whatever, there's space open possibly for launching vehicles. So,
like all the time.
Exactly. Florida's saying, well, we already have all the equipment and stuff, you can use ours, and I'm kind of sitting there thinking, well, it's a little old and a little crowded right now. Puerto Rico's like, we're here. And that's about it.
They have Arecibo. It's really cool. They used it in that Bond movie, and it wasn't really what they used it for in the Bond movie. It looks into space, by the way, in case you don't know. It's
Either
really
way,
deep space. And they're looking for intelligent life. Oh my gosh, Jeremy, shut up and move on.
Either way, I think it'd be a little difficult to get companies to ship things out there for, you know, less than what they want or something like that. Either way, Texas has Brownsville. Big, open, nothing there. It's just...
For those of you who don't know the anatomy of Texas, Houston's kind of up here-ish, and then you go down the coastline, and right before you touch Mexico, Brownsville.
And it's closer to the equator, which is actually better for launching spaceships and stuff like that. So...
Science.
Bam.
Science. Which is how we're going to end the show today. Thank you so much for watching The Extraordinary Times. I'm Jeremy.
I'm AJ.
There's a like button over here and a favorite button somewhere in here. And a subscribe bar up there if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not, please do watch on YouTube. It helps us out. And, you know, share us with your friends and have them watch us on YouTube. And I'm going to stop talking now. See ya. Oh, not again. Be aware. I'm on a boat.
Okay, yeah, that is a better idea.
Sorry. I do that sometimes. Sometimes.
We're still recording, aren't we?
Yeah. Everything's just so loud. You were scratching your eye.
Itched.
It's okay. It's okay. Tel Aviv is the capital of Israel.